Hello, sweet friends, and welcome to stellarjstudios. I'm Gina, and I am thrilled you are here with me today. In light of my epic journal drop I'm going to have on Friday, September 27th, I thought it would be fun to do a video to show you what the rules are for sketchbooking. So I'm going to use my sketchbook. This is the second one I believe that I've made, and it's quite full of, I don't know, all kinds of just pages where I've added lots of paints and marks and collage. And I don't know that I really have any blank pages in here, but that's okay because, well, I like working off of the pages that already have something on them. And a lot of these pages are ones that have just like leftover paint from other projects, and they always make like a really good starting place. So I was thinking in my head about a memory that struck me as I was outside the other day. I heard a whistle, and the whistle was coming from like a construction crew. But it kept reminding me of this kid train, or like a child's train that was in my hometown at the park, and it's been there for decades. I mean, I rode the train when I was a little kid, and then my kids rode the train, and as far as I know, it's still going today. And it just had this distinctive whistle. And plus, I always lived near the park, so I always heard the whistle. Like it was just always something that was in the background. So I was thinking about this memory, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to put this in my sketchbook, because, you know, you can do that. You can put memories and collage and all kinds of stuff in your sketchbook. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try to recreate this image that I have in my head of this train. I didn't want to fuss around with a lot of different materials, so I actually had this page from a coloring book that had like a little train station, and it reminded me of the train station at this park. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to use that because I don't know how well I can draw a train station. And then I was going to recreate the train. Well, I just used the little pieces of paper that were the offcuts of the of that coloring book page. So I pulled out some craft paints and just started slopping down some color and some shapes, and really kind of just playing around with the colors that are in my head. So I was thinking red, although I don't think the train is actually red, but I think it has like a red stripe in it. But I was thinking grays and reds. And so I just put down some craft paints, some blues, some whites, some reds, and thought, okay, we'll see what colors come up from here. I do really like the colors that were already in the background. And I loved the shapes that were back there because they kind of reminded me of train tracks. So it's kind of funny when you're looking through a sketchbook that has a bunch of stuff in it, or a journal that has a bunch of stuff in it. A lot of times those shapes and features don't make any sense until you have something in your head that you're trying to recreate. Like me, I'm trying to recreate this memory of this train. And all of a sudden, those shapes and features take on a whole new identity. Now, I really kind of got to a stopping point here because I couldn't figure out what else I wanted to do. All I had in my head was this train station and these little train cars that I made out of torn up bits of paper. So I'm really just kind of fumbling around using some beeswax crayons, using the leftover paint that's on that little lid, not thinking too much about what I want to do. And whenever I'm in my sketchbook, this is one of the things I love to do, is just kind of make these random marks and shapes, and with paint and colors and markers, because it kind of allows my brain to, I don't know, percolate through some ideas, or my ideas percolate through my brain. And it kind of gives me a little extra, direction as to where I want to go. So just adding down these random marks that may or may not find themselves, being seen later. I also felt like, man, this is a perfect opportunity to use crayons. First of all, I love using crayons. And second of all, because this is like a childhood memory, I just thought it was so fitting to use childlike supplies. So using my crayons, I always love using them, especially if I use them like as a bottom layer, because then they get covered up, but because they're wax, they'll resist the paint a lot of times. So sometimes they'll show through and sometimes they won't. And once I got to this point, I was like, okay, where am I going to go from here? And I'm really loving this glazing medium that I've used in a couple of videos. I'll link one here. But I just thought, okay, what if I added a little glazing medium and kind of reinforced that green and maybe made that whole background kind of come alive. Maybe kind of made it like the park. So I thought, well, let's just go ahead and add some detail to this little train station. Now, I can remember when the tickets were like a dime or a nickel. I think when my kids were little, the tickets were like 25 cents. Who knows what they are now? Gosh, you probably need a debit card to ride that train now. But I always think about just, I don't know, the funniness of, can I have a dime or can I have a nickel? And so I thought that was kind of fun to put that 25 cent there, because there was a little ticket window at the actual little train station. Then I thought about, okay, well, I used to ride my bike to the park all the time. Now, again, I don't know how well my drawing skills are, and I could have sketched my own little bike, but I remembered I had this stamp. And anytime I can pull out an old stamp that I have from my scrapbooking days, I thought that would be a perfect time. So anytime I can pull one out, I always try to pull one out and use it. And then I just kind of used it as a guide and then went over it with some paint pens and markers and kind of, gave it a little bit of personality. Now I'm thinking about details and I'm like, okay, so I need to maybe add a little more detail to this train station and figure out, how to make it kind of stand out. And I'll be honest, I'm really liking how this is going. I think this is like a really cute little, I don't know, like a really cute little, almost like a layout, like a scrapbook page or some sort of memory keeping, something that, may not be deemed as scrapbook or as sketchbook worthy, but yet why not? Why not put it in my sketchbook? I mean, yeah, it's a book with paper and it's begging to have art put on it, so why not? Now here I got a little overzealous and I wanted to add in some more of these flowers. So I added all this pink to the background, like these pink flowers. And then I realized I didn't really like them because they were kind of, I don't know, they were kind of looking too attention seeking. So rather than freak out and go to a whole new page or abandon this, I just decided to take some more of that green paint and, kind of go over it with, again, that glazing medium. And then it kind of toned it down. So I thought that was kind of cool. That was a great way to fix a mistake. And then my room is a mess because I've been making all these journals. So I have tons of paper scraps all over the floor. And this was some ledger paper that I had cut down. I had these little scraps, these little strips, and my cat keeps coming in and playing with them. So I thought I'll put this on this page, and that will be one less that he gets to carry around the house and play with. But I thought they'd make cute little like flower stems and then put some like lollipop flower heads on those. And then just for fun, just to add a little more depth and a little more interest, I pulled out some of my glitter paints. I think they're Lumiere glitters. I don't know. They're kind of these fun little glitter paints. And I always like using them every once in a while. So as we get to the end here, I want to thank you for staying with me this whole video. I hope you got a chuckle out of the rules that I displayed across the screen. Here's the thing. Those are rules that I thought sketchbooks had to have, and it's what kept me from using a sketchbook for so long. It wasn't until I actually tried one that I realized all the freedom I was missing out on by not using a blank page. So I encourage you to think about using a sketchbook. It might just be that vessel you were looking for to take your art to a whole other level. Tomorrow I'll have a flip through of all my journals that will be in my shop. Be sure to hop over to my website and sign up for my emails to get all kinds of updates on things I'm adding to my shop, courses I'm going to be having, and new videos. Until next time, I hope you are healthy, I hope you are happy, and I hope you do something creative today. Bye.